All right, let's move on to topic number 3, Zach. Workers fear humans implanted with microchips will steal their jobs. Story from CNN Business. Workers worry that in the not-so-distant future, they will be sidelined by humans implanted with performance-enhancing microchips. Two-thirds of employees believe that by 2035, humans with chips implanted in their bodies will have an unfair advantage in the labor market, according to a Citrix survey of employees in the United States and Europe, shared exclusively to CNN Business. Zach, cyborgs. Is this the future of the workforce?
They're coming. It is. I mean, maybe in the future, that's how humans, that's what we need to do to stay competitive against like advancing robots and like AI, you know?
If you can't beat them, join them.
Exactly. Yeah. You got the thinking capabilities and the common sense of like the human brain, but then if you add like some crazy like cyborg parts that make us like stronger and faster than humans, then faster, so we can compete with robots. Maybe that's how we stay competitive.
Oh my God. We never have to worry about with TikTok corrupting the youth now.
Yeah, now we got to worry about advancing technology to corrupt our bodies.
This says in Sweden, thousands of people have inserted microchips in their hands that could one day replace keys and cards. So I guess maybe you go up to the counter and you.
I love that.
Oh my God.
I love that.
You got a cyborg here.
That's great. Yeah. Like remember in Idiocracy when they had the little like barcode on their wrist and he was like, just scan it to pay. Like, oh, that's great. Just do something like that. I love it. Yeah.
That movie is ridiculous, but a bit prescient, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like when that movie came out, I was like, this is silly. And now we're in 2020 and you watch the movie, you're like, oh my God, this is like the future. This is happening.
So we are headed to Idiocracy, just might as well enjoy the ride. This also says that Elon Musk recently showed a working brain implant in pigs made by Neuralink as his brain computer interface company. So now we're going to have cyborg pigs, Zach.
Yeah. There's a good quote that I found. I was doing some research for this article, and we're going to play a game. I want you to guess who said this quote. Okay. The quote is, advancing technologies are both our savior and our doom. It's a very insightful quote, right?
Who said it?
Yeah, who said it?
Albert Einstein.
Yeah. The snowman character of Olaf from Frozen 2, a Disney Pixar movie. I saw that quote. I'm like, wow, that's insightful as fuck. And it like really makes sense. Who said this? And it was Olaf from the Disney Pixar Frozen 2.
Oh, man.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Thank you all for that insight.
Yeah,
I go with a genius, and you give me Olaf.
Yeah.
But
no, there was an actual quote from this article that's is where my bullshit angle is coming from, is that the Citrix CEO said robots are not going to replace humans. Technology will make things better and smarter. It's an enabler, not a replacer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is an admirable quote, and I hope that that's true, but I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I do too.
I think any Fortune 500 company that has the money to spend will quickly replace the human workforce with robots as soon as they can, just to save a couple bucks and fill their pockets more. 100%.
But of course they will. That's the name of the game, is to hollow out the workforce in the name of profit, Zach.
Now, how many companies already like send their work over to China because they can just get labor for like pennies? You know what I mean? Just wait till it's robots and it's even cheaper than having to go to China, right?
Yeah, outsourcing, tech support. This is when people get frustrated when they're talking to someone in a foreign country for tech support and you can't communicate. Well, why? Because they can hire workers cheaper overseas to give you crappy tech support.
Yeah, and next it's going to be Siri, and then like as we talked about last week, when men are getting turned on by like Siri and Alexa, now you're going to call like your cable company to like fix your cable in the middle of the night, and you're going to start getting turned on because you're going to be talking to Siri or Alexa.
And then what happens when Alexa breaks up with you?
Yeah, now you got to get upset every time you call to get your cable fixed.
See, I think, Zach, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I think, executives, CEOs, while they may be smarter than the average bear, they're certainly not as smart as a robot and artificial intelligence. So I think we should try out AI and cyborg implantation on CEOs first, see how they fare, then maybe we just don't need these CEOs. Maybe this can all be run by artificial intelligence as well. What do you think of that? That's a good way of saving money.
That's interesting. You don't need to pay a robot a inflated crazy salary.
Yeah, no $2 million bonus for a robot.
Yeah,
I mean that can employ a lot of other people down the line.
No political bias or anything like that. No,
I say we start at the top.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Now, Zach, there's before we move on here. There's a companion story that we didn't get to, but I wanted to mention. Hog Wild, the U.S.'s out of control population of super pigs. Now, when I combine that with Elon Musk demonstrating an implanted AI brain into a pig, could this be the next worry for public safety, that we'll have a bunch of cyborg pigs running around, or potentially could cyborg pigs replace us in the workforce?
Planet of the Pigs. Planet of the Pigs, man. That movie got it wrong. They said it was apes. It's going to be pigs.
It's going to be pigs.
Planet of the Pigs, yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know about this. So you seem to be a little bit more on board than me on this. You're willing to get the chip. I don't think I want the chip unless I really had to.
I'll get it, yeah. How much different of is it than like I look at it the same way of plastic surgery. It's acceptable for someone in Hollywood to go spend tens of thousands of dollars, and changing their physical appearance.
That's just enhancement?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see.
At least this is something that goes towards more, like actual something you can actually use rather than just vanity.
That's true. What about the idea that people that don't want these implants could become unemployable because basically all the requirements for the job is that you have an implant?
Now that sucks. That's another part of the bullshit. So it's going to be up to the CEOs, the people that own these companies, just to have some kind of moral compass.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. I mean, for my part, I think your point is well taken. But I do think a little bit of collagen isn't quite the same as some interconnected circuitry. But I do take your point. I do worry about this, and I don't believe the assurances that don't worry, you'll still have a job. Maybe you can pick up some trash on the street. Although I guess they can just get a robot to do that as well. I don't really know. I don't really know what job is going to be left to do.
Yeah. What about police? What about robot police?
Oh, that could be coming for sure. Actually, we covered that story in South Korea where they sent a robot around a park to tell people to social distance.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Maybe that's a part. Maybe that's how it is. Or, a robot can't, arrest out of racially motivation, right? A robot can't, a robot can always obey their rules and the, laws that they have to follow as a police officer.
Yeah. So yeah, no bias there potentially. I don't know. It doesn't seem like we're going forwards exactly, but that stuff comes. You can't stop it. So
yeah, the train is going to move regardless. So let's adapt.
Well, that's crazy. Well, I just can't imagine getting written a ticket by a robot. That would just something about that feels wrong. But